set with us in the WDSU studio. We have Orleans Parish Coroner Dr. Jeffrey Rouse, also, though, a forensic psychologist. As this decision has come down today, what do you make of all of this?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is I'm not actually very surprised, because the legal standard to prove that someone is incompetent to stand trial or incompetent to manage their affairs is actually quite high. And so from a medical legal standpoint, I'm not actually that surprised.
What would we have needed to see that separates Tom Benson as an 87-year-old man who has senior moments and might not be 100% with it, so to speak, as he might have been years ago? How do we separate that from incompetent? Where's the line there? Okay. What's the warning sign?
The line would have to be evidence that Mr. Benson was having extreme difficulty in caring for his own person, in caring for his own daily activities, his own daily needs, and that his ability to make reasoned decisions was consistently disturbed or made difficult. Not just intermittently having problems making decisions, but on a consistent basis was not able to make reasoned choices.
Yeah, because what they said was Benson's impairment mild and short-term memory. That does not make one incompetent.
No, that does not rise to the level to make one legally incompetent. Because what the law says is the law basically presumes that you're competent, just in the same way that the law presumes that you're innocent before proven guilty. So I'm not very surprised by this ruling.
What would have surprised you here? Had he been ruled incompetent, that would have been a major surprise?
I would have been surprised if he had been ruled incompetent, and I also would have been surprised if there had been more allegations of difficulty with his ability to care for himself. Not simply just making decisions, but evidence of him becoming lost or evidence of him putting himself potentially in dangerous situations. That would have surprised me, because I guess that would have come out by now in the media.
But I guess my question is, even for a family member to go forth with something like this, surely they would have gotten counsel that they would have needed such evidence.
Yes, you know, I can't speculate as to the family's reasoning on doing it. I have to believe that their heart was probably in the right place to do so. But again, it's a legal proceeding, and so you get your own counsel, and you know, your lawyers are your advocate, so they try to fight for what you believe is right.
One would think there was, like you said, genuine concern, but I guess when it all is boiled down, you have the heirs who brought up things like he likes to drink wine and he eats a lot of candy, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that in the court's point of view.
Right. I do commend Judge Reese for making what appears to be a fair and considered decision on this. I know Judge Reese, and I'm not surprised that he took his time and issued a very thoughtful ruling in this matter. What
did Mr. Benson go through when he goes through these exams and when he's being analyzed and psychoanalyzed, if you will? What is that process like?
What the process was, and again, I have no inside knowledge of this case, but what would have happened would be he would have sat with all three of the different doctors, and he would have gone under a psychiatric interview, been asked sort of standard questions, and been asked tailored questions about his life that have been gleaned from collateral interviews that the doctors did. So the doctors, if they did their due diligence, would have also talked to other people around Mr. Benson to get their idea about how Mr. Benson was doing, all in addition to reading every last word of any medical records that might have been, been made in this process.
Well, Travers has found something in the ruling that he would like to ask you about, so let's go out to Travers.
This is something really interesting. At the bottom of page 6, the judge put this in his ruling that Taika Daniels, who the court found to be perhaps the most credible fact witness who appeared in this case, testified Tom Benson agonized over distancing himself from his family. It goes on to say that on December 27, 2014, letters that he wrote, no one stood over his shoulder while he signed those letters, basically telling the 3 R's that he wanted to distance himself from them and leave the team. To Gail Benson, this woman, Miss Daniels, it's our understanding, is a nurse, a longtime nurse who worked for Tom Benson at his house, and according to Judge Kern Reese, he even puts it in that he found her to be the most credible and fact-based witness, that she testified that nobody forced Tom Benson to change his will and send that letter that we've all seen now that essentially excommunicated the 3 R's from the Saints and Pelicans.
So Dr. Rouse, let's weigh in on that. The nurse there in that case, the most credible witness of all.
I'm not surprised. And that is why I said that the doctors would reach out to such collateral interviews. Reach out to persons who had more direct knowledge of how Mr. Benson has been doing, but yet don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak, with regard to the legal issue. And so the mentioning of that nurse and her findings is not very surprising that Judge Reese relied upon that so heavily. Also, the testimony that she's making about not having anyone over his shoulder when he signed those letters speaks directly to the question of whether or not Mr. Benson was subject to undue influence. That is, someone basically taking advantage of any infirmities he might have to steer him in a possible direction.
And in your opinion, if he were clearly medically distressed, where his mind was a true issue, would something have come out before? I mean, he runs almost $2 billion worth of professional organizations. Would there have been some concern elsewhere from someone other than his immediate former heirs that would have brought this to light? Because to the public, Tom Benson's walking in and out of court. He's cantankerous as he's always been. He's grumbling at the camera here and there. He looks to be older. He looks to be 87, but he seems to be, to the naked eye, fine.
Sure. I have to believe that in this day and age of internet and cell phones and Twitter and Facebook, and in addition to the power of the media, that if there had been some sort of more egregious behavioral disturbance, we would have probably known it by now, as well as it would have been mentioned most likely in the initial petition that the 3Rs filed.